In uncertain times, when faced with overwhelming emotions, communities have always turned to music to share and spread the weight of joy, pain, grief, lifting burdened hearts the same way they lift their voices, in unison, together as one race, the human race. Nothing has displayed this phenomenon more powerfully in the 21st century than the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic and its attendant lockdown period. Overnight, almost all of humanity was globally propelled to band together in solidarity against a threat to the health of our entire species. Music has always been a vehicle for everyday citizens to promote their expression of political beliefs, but the United States of America's political response to COVID-19 was so lackluster that it contributed to an environment where musicians became so fired up that in the present day, scientists have coined the term corona music to describe the phenomenon of musical outpouring across the internet, illustrating the average American's need to use music to cope with our government's abandonment of us in such a time of crisis. Not everyone responded with grace or poise or even rationality, but those who did rose above the fray, standing arm in arm with each other to protect themselves and the vulnerable members of their communities. And, as in many other times of widespread social unrest and economic distress, while politicians, armchair or otherwise, divorced themselves from reality and bowed to the pressure of corporate profit mongers, musicians pushed their sleeves up and got to the work of changing the world, one song at a time. In a cleverly strategic mirroring of previous musician-led protests against poor governmental handling of international crises, Lady Gaga hosted the One World virtual concert, meant to bring individuals together across the aisle and educate them on the severity of the crisis, while providing hope to those less privileged with financial stability than herself. In other parts of the world, governments used music as a tool to help educate and soothe their populace during lockdown. Meanwhile, people unknown to each other beyond the bounds of social media began creative, organic collaboration, making music and connecting with nothing more than their voice, their camera, and the internet. What's more, a previously underutilized platform known as Twitch finally got its day in the limelight, as millions of people suddenly found their days empty of their usual socialization avenues. Touring musicians and their fans finally began to appreciate the convenience of being able to stream and watch music performances live from the comfort of their own homes. The sky became the limit once artists and their fans realized that in the age of the internet, headlining tours and signing record labels might not be the only way to share the live music experience. Instead of having to hit 10 cities in as many days hoping to maximize their fame, network, and income, the digital age has begun to empower artists to find their own ways, playing by their own rules. Twitch as a platform was born from a smaller live vlogging service known as Justin.tv. In 2011, the service announced, "One specific niche has grown large enough to captivate the attention of the Justin.tv staff and prompts the team to spring into action to serve its growing needs." The niche? Esports, but not for long. By 2014, Twitch had enough users to garner the attention of the ever-growing internet monopoly Amazon. After their buyout, Twitch quickly became much more than a simple esports streaming platform. Twitch's hold on the streaming corner of the internet, already rock solid by 2017, was further solidified by the COVID lockdown. Suddenly, everyone had spare time and no way to access community. Globally, people sought connections outside the humdrum of their own, probably beige, walls. And where better to find your people than in the chat of someone playing your favorite game? Where better to find new music than on your phone, watching as your next favorite tune is produced in real time for your entertainment? In 2023, the market value of influencer marketing on the digital stage reached new all-time highs, tripling the 2019 market valuation while capping out at 21 billion US dollars. Non-gaming channels, once a very small portion of Twitch's user base, now make up the majority of the service's watch hours, with Just Chatting clocking almost 3 billion in 2023, twice as much as its top game, League of Legends. To put that into perspective, in a single year, the denizens of the internet used Twitch for more time than humans have existed as a collective species. Most of Twitch's popularity among professional streamers can be attributed to their affiliate and partnership programs, where those who meet a fairly basic set of prerequisites receive a portion of the platform's advertising revenue. The Just Chatting category encompasses everything from physical handcrafting artists to political commentators, all building their own unique brand identities and communities out of Twitch's approximately 980 million monthly users. So, in addition to providing a ready-built, growing audience, Twitch also provides independent artists with an avenue towards monetization, the dream of many a starving artist. Beyond these ad share programs, Twitch also provides tools for fans to directly offer monetary support to their favorite entertainers in the form of tips, fan club subscriptions, and merchandise purchases. In that same vein, another contributing factor to Twitch's success among internet community leaders is its auto-moderation tools, known as bots. Bots help take the onus of enforcing community guidelines in fast-flowing chats off of the streamer. These bots are capable of sending automated advertising messages, giving users access to paywalled content, as well as automatically deleting slurs and otherwise unacceptable speech, and banning those who break its internal guidelines too often. For those hoping to build a cross-platform supporter base, these bots can also be used to direct members of the chat to other accounts, such as Discord, Instagram, or Patreon. No longer must artists tolerate misbehaving fans in their communities out of fear of losing profits or gaining a bad reputation. For every viewer lost to the ban hammer, there are 3 more seeking a social group that doesn't enable harassment, trolling, and hate speech. Twitch's moderation tool upholds the principle that multi-level moderation from both digital platforms and community leaders is critical to building healthy communities. While many people have been able to decide after the end of the government-mandated lockdown that COVID-19 did not permanently change the world or the way they live their lives, others like myself are not so lucky. As an immunocompromised individual, the chances that my permanent well-being, and by default my career as a performing artist, could survive a single live tour are worse than a snowballs in Florida. So what should I and other disabled artists do? Give up on our dreams of making music and touching people's hearts with our art? As if, during a post-lockdown conference about the future of the music industry, Amici Uzwigwe, manager for Grammy-nominated band Run the Jewels, stated, "The lockdown should have made the music industry realize how large the opportunity is in gaming partnerships." Twitch offers a digital solution to an analog problem, giving artists of all categories control over their environment, their art, and their health. Its popularity successfully proves that there's a market for in-home, live digital entertainment, and provides a ready-made platform to engage with that audience. But now that the lockdown is over, why should musicians set aside traditional touring for online live streams when everything has gone back to normal? Because it hasn't. From November to December 2023, over 850,000 new COVID cases were reported, with over 3,000 deaths contributed to the infections. Note that only half of all countries worldwide are still bothering to track COVID data at all, and of those, only half are also reporting COVID deaths. Meanwhile, the USA's National Wastewater Surveillance System has displayed concerning spikes of viral loads in our sewers as recently as December 2023, almost immediately after which they conveniently stopped recording data for 6 weeks. Fans of the band Paramore may even remember widespread disappointment when Hayley Williams was forced to postpone or cancel 2 months' worth of tour dates in July and August of 2023 due to a lung infection. The band then went on to cancel all international tour dates, citing the end of their record label deal. While Twitch could vanish from the internet tomorrow, YouTube gaming would step in to fill that market space within 6 months to a year. So, rather than asking myself about the long-term affordability and profitability of replacing live touring with live streaming, as a musician, especially a singer whose lungs are my instrument, I must instead ask myself, can I afford the long-term consequences of touring? This is why I don't leave the house. You say the coast is clear, but oh no, you won't catch me out. Oh, why? This is why. Remember, it is never too late to start masking again.